In Lagos, on one of those streets that only locals can find, the kind that appears after the third sharp left past a buka that's been frying plantains since 1987, there lived a woman who never locked her gate. Her name was Adauna, though most people just called her Aunty Lantern, because every evening, rain or dry season, she hung the same old kerosene lantern on the low branch of the mango tree in front of her compound. Not electric, not solar, real flame, real wick, real smell of kerosene that somehow felt like memory. Nobody could explain why the lantern never ran out of oil. Children swore it grew brighter when someone nearby was afraid. Taxi drivers making late-night drops would slow down just to glance at it and feel, for 3 seconds, that the road home was still possible. Even area boys who normally collected something small from every stranger would fold their arms, nod respectfully toward the light, and walk past her gate without a word. One humid Tuesday night in March, a girl arrived at the gate carrying nothing but a school bag that had been crying. She was maybe 17, uniform still on, tie loosened like it had given up hours earlier. Her phone screen was black, not low battery, but the kind of black that comes after too many ignored calls from mommy. She stood under the lantern for a long time without knocking. Eventually, Adauna appeared in the doorway wearing an old wrapper tied above her chest and bedroom slippers that had once been pink. "You're not lost," Adauna said before the girl could speak. "You're just late." The girl opened her mouth, closed it, then tried again. "I don't have anywhere else to go tonight." Adauna studied her the way a tailor studies fabric before cutting, not judging the material, only deciding which way the grain runs. "Come inside. The lantern already told me you were coming." Inside smelled of lemongrass, hot pepper soup that had been simmering since afternoon, and something older, like old books that had never left the room they were born in. They didn't speak much at first. Adauna just slid a plate across the table, eba, okra, one perfect piece of fried fish resting on top like it had been waiting for her. After the girl had eaten enough to stop shaking, Adauna finally asked, "What name should the lantern call you tonight?" The girl looked up, surprised. "You don't want to know my real name?" "Names carry history," Adauna said. "And history is heavy at this hour. Tonight you can be someone new. Tomorrow you can decide if you want the old name back." The girl thought for a long moment. "Call me Salt." Adauna smiled, small, knowing. "Good. Salt stays when everything else washes away." That night Salt slept on a mat in the parlor with the lantern's glow slipping under the door like a promise. She dreamed of roads that didn't end in shouting, of hands that reached for her without wanting to hold her down. In the morning the lantern was still burning. It kept burning every night Salt stayed. Weeks became months. Salt learned how to trim the wick without burning her fingers, how to pour kerosene without spilling a drop, how to listen when the flame hissed louder than usual. Someone close was telling lies. She started helping Adauna hang the lantern. Then one evening Adauna simply handed her the matchbox. "Your turn," she said. Salt's hand shook only a little when she lit it. The flame caught, stretched, settled, and then, for the first time anyone could remember, the lantern burned blue for 7 heartbeats before returning to ordinary gold. Adauna didn't look surprised. "Means you're ready to choose," she said. "Stay and keep the light, or carry your own somewhere else." Salt looked at the flame for a long time. Then she asked the only question that mattered. "If I leave, will the lantern still burn for me when I'm far away?" Adauna touched the girl's cheek with the back of her knuckles, soft, like she was checking whether the world had bruised her too deeply yet. "Child," she said, "this lantern has never learned how to forget anyone who once stood under it. So some nights, if you walk down that small street very late, past the buka that still fries plantain at 2 a.m., you might see 2 lanterns now. One hangs from the mango tree, steady gold. The other moves, sometimes near the market, sometimes by the water, sometimes far outside Lagos, a small blue-tinged glow carried by a girl who finally decided her name could be both Salt and Rosemary. And whenever someone feels too lost to keep walking, one of the lanterns, they never argue about whose turn it is, burns a little brighter. Just enough, just in time.